Okay, so I got a Jesus quote for you guys here today. Another one. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Let me repeat that one more time. I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So, this specific quote, specific line from the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, is often misunderstood and misinterpreted by some people, right, as Jesus is the only way, right? Because, I mean, if you read it literally, right, if you look at the literal explanation, interpretation of what I just said, Jesus is saying, hey, by the way, motherfuckers, none of this shit makes sense. Nobody's right. Hinduism is bullshit. Buddhism is bullshit. Paganism is bullshit. The only way for you through the Father is through me, through Jesus. Or so it seems, if you look at the literal interpretation of it. But, as with so many of these great teachings of the past, they are metaphorical. And what people don't understand in the modern day is that people in that day and age used to speak a lot in metaphors. Language changes from generation to generation. Look, the way we speak English is like different than the people spoke in the Victorian era, only 200 years ago, right? Some of the stuff that we say these days, some of the words we use, would completely go over their head. You know, like somebody in the Victorian era, like we had to create new words, man, like selfie. That's a whole new world, selfie. Right? So language changes. Now imagine like we're talking 2,000 years ago, right? 2,000 years ago. That's, I mean, totally different ball game, different people, different times. And they spoke a lot of metaphors. Now, what Jesus was saying is, you are the Christ. The Christ is within you. That's what Jesus was trying to teach us all along, you know? When Jesus was walking on water, he told people, and he was performing miracles and healing the blind, he told people, I'm showing you what you can do. Because that's what Jesus was saying. Jesus was saying that, no, look, the Christ is within you. Jesus is within you. You're not gonna come to the Father, this God consciousness, except through me, except through the Christ, except through the Christ consciousness, except through the third eye. You see, except through oneness and unity. That's how you're going to come to the Father. Christ consciousness, that's what it's all about. It's about Christ consciousness. Now, I was watching South Park last night. And the episode's called Imagination Land. Imagination Land. They got that song. It's so hilarious. It's a trilogy. It's got 3 parts to it. And essentially the South Park boys, they go to Imagination Land, right? Some fat guy from Imagination Land comes, takes them, shows them the Imagination Land song. It's hilarious. And they go to Imagination Land. And so, you know, it's just goes on, hilarious, for 3 episodes. And at the end of the episode, you know, the message from it was, it doesn't matter if the imagination is real or not. Somebody who's imaginary could be more real than you and I. Because look, let's say I die right now. You see, let's say I die and that's it, I'm gone. I'll tell you something, if let's say for example Jesus was imaginary, which I'm not gonna put entirely off the table here. Let's say Jesus was imaginary for, you know, to satisfy any atheist watchers here. Well, I die. Who's lasting longer? Who's having more influence on world history, on people, on mass consciousness? Jesus. So in a way, Jesus, if let's say Jesus is imaginary, which I think he wasn't. I think he was a real person. But anyway, let's say Jesus was imaginary. Jesus would have way more. He's more real than me. Because when I die, what makes me real? I go back into the earth, into the soil as a body. What makes me real? really, then Jesus, who let's say is imaginary, is more real than I. You know, if Vegeta is more real than me, if Vegeta can influence so many people and inspire so many people, you see? So, regardless, it really doesn't matter if it's real or not. Jesus was talking in metaphors here. Jesus was saying that Christ is within you, it's through you. You're gonna come to the Father through me. Oneness, that state of oneness, that state of bliss. It's a bliss because it's the truth. It's the truth. I am the way. I am the truth. I am. See, that's another thing. I am, because that's who you are. I am. That's if you want to know who you really are, sit down in a room and start humming. Right? Which is I am. That's who you are. And that connects you, plugs you into the oneness, into the unity, into the truth, which in the words of the great late Bill Hicks, we are all one consciousness experiencing itself subjectively. Jesus is within you, Christ is within you. You can always summon, again, this is back to the imagination idea. You can always summon the Jesus energy through your imagination. Sit down in your meditation and summon the Jesus energy, and you will feel the Christ energy. Boom. You'll feel the oneness, you'll feel the unity. And I personally connect a lot with the Jesus energy, let's say. The Jesus archetype. How about that? Archetypes, right? It's all archetypes, imagination. We have all these archetypes in our imagination. I personally connect very deeply with the Jesus archetype. Through my meditations, Jesus just comes to me. And I feel the presence of Christ. And I feel that actually that's just me. Because, you know, if everything and everyone is you, then you are Jesus and Jesus is you. You see? So even from that perspective of you're me and I'm you, when Jesus says I am the way, because you are Jesus. And you are Christ. And everything's one. And that's the truth. Okay, so that's it. God bless you all, guys. I love every single one of you, but don't forget to subscribe or you're gonna sleep with the fishes.